Hello guys, and welcome back to my Pokemon The Alternate Take series. In this series, I take a look at the Pokemon starting with Kanto, take a look at their designs and see how they can be improved or made more interesting with a redesign. Today we're going to focus on one of the most iconic bug Pokemon out there, Caterpie, Metapod, Butterfree, and Gigantamax Butterfree. Now, as always, there are a few ground rules to keep in mind. I can change the type of a Pokemon to some extent, but I can only change it completely in some particular cases to fit a concept that will make it better and more interesting. I can change their shape and silhouette entirely to better fit the new concept or for the original one. I can't change information, such as height, weight, egg group, etc. I must use all previous inspiration for a design, but I can include my own, or even new concepts. I can't change the amount of forms a Pokemon has, and I can't change their names, except for one very particular case, and that will be the Paradox Pokemon. Now when it comes to Caterpie, Metapod, Butterfree, and Gigantamax Butterfree, there's a lot to love about these designs. They're great, balanced and well proportioned, and they capture the essence of what a bug Pokemon should be. But at the same time, there's something that bugs me about them. No pun intended. What I mean is, they're literally just bugs in the Pokemon style. And while there's nothing wrong with that per se, I feel like there's so much more potential here. So with that in mind, let's see what we can come up with. Are you ready? Let's get started. Caterpie, the caterpillar Pokemon. A pure bug type. Its soft and pliable body is covered in tiny hairs, making it difficult to catch. When threatened, it releases a strong odor from its antennae to repel predators. This Pokemon can also spin a silk thread to create a cocoon for protection or to traverse difficult terrain. Its ferocious appetite allows it to rapidly grow and evolve into a more formidable form. Its tiny jaws can chew through even the toughest plant fibers, allowing it to consume large amounts of food. Despite its small size, Caterpie is a resilient Pokemon, able to survive in a variety of environments. Now, while Caterpie's design is an interesting take on the tiger swallowtail caterpillar, it can also be seen as a bit unnerving. And while that's great for a bug-type Pokemon, Caterpie is supposed to be an early route Pokemon, meant to grow with the trainer, much like the starter Pokemon themselves. So I wanted to give Caterpie a more adorable look by running out its shapes and making it cuter. To achieve this, I looked towards the snake mimic caterpillar, which can inflate its head to resemble a snake and therefore has colours that allowed me to... While the colours are basically the same as Caterpie, they are meant to represent the shiny Ekans. The nubs on Caterpie's backs are meant to represent its legs, as the snake mimic caterpillar hangs upside down in order to mimic a snake. With these changes, I believe Caterpie is still recognisable as a bug-type Pokemon, but now has a more approachable and endearing appearance. Let's see how these changes will translate to its evolution Metapod. Metapod, the cocoon Pokemon. Metapod is a shell-like cocoon formed after Caterpie evolves. Spends most of its time hanging from tree branches, waiting for its evolution. Its hardened shell provides great protection from predators, but it is unable to move or attack while in this state. Metapod's primary method of defense is to harden its shell, making it nearly impenetrable. This Pokemon is known to endure harsh environments, often spending weeks motionless in cold or rainy weather. Trainers are encouraged to handle Metapod with care, as any damages to its shell may harm its evolution into Butterfree. Now on to Metapod. The design for Metapod is perfect in terms of its intended purpose, which is to be a cocoon-like Pokemon that protects itself while it evolves. However, the one area where the design falls a bit short is its face, which isn't very clear. Because, come on guys, we've all seen the memes where if you look at a Metapod from behind, that looks like a face too. To address this, I've made some changes to the design to make it cuter, more fluid, and more serpentine. I've also given it the horn that Caterpie has, as I think that is a great way to show the connection between the two. The changes I've made give Metapod a more pronounced face with distinct eyes and a mouth, nose thing, you know, the thing that Caterpie has, like a nose, mouth, whatever it is. I've also made its body more streamlined and sleek with a more pronounced curve that gives it a more serpentine look. These changes not only make Metapod look more interesting and dynamic, but they also make it feel more like a Pokemon that's evolving and growing rather than just a stationary cocoon, especially with the horn connecting it to Caterpie. Overall, I'm really happy with how these redesigns have turned out. They're a fresh take on some classic Pokemon designs, and I think they're going to be hopefully really popular with you guys. So without further ado, let's take a closer look at the redesign for Butterfree. Butterfree, the butterfly Pokemon. This gentle Pokemon is known for its beautiful wings that are covered in a powdery substance that can cause drowsiness. Its wingspan is incredibly wide, allowing it to glide effortlessly through the air. Butterfree's compound eyes can see in multiple directions at once, making it a skilled tracker of sweet nectar and pollen. It's said that the powder on its wings is so potent that it can even calm the emotions of those around it. If threatened, Butterfree will release a powerful neurotoxin that can paralyze its enemies, allowing it to make a swift escape. Now let's talk about Butterfree, the final evolved form of our cute little Caterpie. While I appreciate the uniqueness of the design of Butterfree, with its quite large wings, I must admit that it's a bit too unnerving for an early ripe Pokemon. I mean, just imagine encountering a swarm of Butterfree in the wild with its piercing, blank eyes staring right at you. It could be a bit overwhelming for young trainers, so I decided to make some changes to Butterfree's design to make it more suitable for an early ripe Pokemon. First and foremost, I made it cuter with rounder and softer edges. This is in contrast to its counterpart Beedrill, which is more angular and aggressive in design, which I will keep. Secondly, I drew inspiration from the butterfly stage of the snake mimic caterpillar, which has a distinct pattern on its wings that helped me translate them into eyes. This helped me come up with a new eye pattern for Butterfree that's still striking, but less intimidating than its original design. Maybe, possibly. Basically just stole Masquerade's concept, so what am I going to do with that? Of course, I didn't want to completely change Butterfree's identity, so I kept its signature features like the large wings and the vibrant coloration. Overall, I'm really happy with how the redesign turned out, and I think it would make a great addition to any trainer's team. So without further ado, what happens when it is exposed to the toxic Gigantamax energy? Gigantamax Butterfree, the Crystal Wing Pokemon, a bug and flying type. When Butterfree undergoes Gigantamaxing, its wings grow to an immense size, becoming covered in thousands of crystallized scales. The scales refract light in a dazzling display of colors, making this Pokemon a breathtaking sight to behold. Its wingspan can stretch up to an immeasurable size, allowing it to soar effortlessly through the skies. The crystallized scales on its wings are incredibly hard, durable, and toxic, providing a powerful defense against attacks. When Gigantamaxed, Butterfree can unleash a flurry of crystal shards from its wings, shredding anything that stands in its way, or even burning them. Some legends even say that the scales on Gigantamax Butterfree's wings hold mysterious powers that can bring good luck and prosperity to those who possess them. Before we get into the design, I think I really like that these are categorized as different Pokemon from the originals. So how about we overhaul the classification for other Mega and Gigantamax Pokemon we've redesigned? Mega Venusaur, the Swampy Pokemon, Gigantamax Venusaur, the Venus Tree Pokemon, Mega Charizard X, the Blue Flame Pokemon, Mega Charizard Y, the God Flame Pokemon, Gigantamax Charizard, the Magma Burst Pokemon, Mega Blastoise, the Undead Pirate Pokemon, and Gigantamax Blastoise, the Artillery Pokemon. With that being said, let's go over the design, because for Gigantamax Butterfree, I wanted to give it a similar look to the previous redesigns I made for the others. I made it fluffier and leaned more into the Mothra inspiration the original design has. In terms of its wings, they are made of giant crystallized scales that shimmer in the light, just as the regular one. They're also toxic, same as the other one, or at least I think the other ones are toxic, creating a beautiful and awe-inspiring sight for anyone who witnesses it. Its wingspan is so massive that it can create powerful gusts of wind with just a single flap. But it's not just its appearance that's impressive. Gigantamax Butterfree also has the ability to manipulate light itself, thanks to its wings, to create powerful blasts of energy that can use to attack its opponents. Overall, I think this redesign takes the original Gigantamax Butterfree to a whole new level, making it even more majestic and awe-inspiring than before. And that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed my redesigns of Caterpie, Metapod, Butterfree, and Gigantamax Butterfree. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to stay tuned for more videos like this one. We're closing in on 150 subscribers, so that would be cool to get. Maybe even 200 by the end of the year. Maybe even 300 if I'm that lucky. I'm real excited to share with you my next video, which will be redesigns of some of my Vonaleo Pokemon. Unfortunately, due to some scheduling conflicts and a bit of laziness on my part this week, there won't be a new video next week, but don't worry, the next video will be out the following week. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.